Hey Mount fans, this is Adam Pohl, and we're ready for another edition of the Donny Lind Show presented by Educational Systems Federal Credit Union. Mount St. Mary's opening their 25-26 season of Mount basketball here in the upcoming week. They're coming off of an exciting exhibition win, 85-70 on the road at Division III Hood College, and now Mount St. Mary's will start their campaign Tuesday night on the road at West Virginia, and then the home opener. It's so much excitement for the home opener. Friday, November the 7th, a 7 p.m. tip as Mount St. Mary's takes on Bucknell. The first 1,000 fans to the door will get a rally towel courtesy of Educational Systems Federal Credit Union. Also get your magnet schedule brought to you by Maynard Scott Spedden Farmers Insurance. Another season of Mount St. Mary's basketball is upon us, and now let's break it down with head coach Donny Lind as the Donny Lind Show, presented by Educational Systems Federal Credit Union, starts now. Welcome back to the Donny Lind Show, presented by Educational Systems Federal Credit Union. My name is Adam Pohl, joined by the head coach of Mount basketball here in Donny Lind. Coach, here we go. The season is upon us, and I know that you guys are excited to really get this up and running, and you got to play an exhibition game on the road. Tell us about that experience playing a Division III team, but not doing so here at Knott Arena.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's been a long time coming. It's such a long preseason, and we've had our guys here. They come back in June, and then they spend a month with us, and then they get to go home, and now then they come back, and we basically start the first day of school, and they've been going, and so to finally get an opportunity to go play somebody and get some more of that experience, get some of those built up energy and excitement, out of the way. Those exhibition games are huge. And so, we decided to, go down to Frederick and play at Hood College, which, I felt like was a great opportunity for our guys to, get a road test, go play against a team that's an NCAA tournament caliber team in their league. And that's going to test us in a different way than if they were to come here. They had an unbelievable crowd. Their students and alums and fans, were all there because it is such a rare thing for a Division I school to go and play on the road there. And so I really wanted our guys to be in that environment. Sure, it's not the WVU Coliseum, but it's a hostile environment on the road. And I thought, they did a great job of Hood of promoting it and getting their people there, and we had a great turnout of Mount fans that came down or are in Frederick, and so those people got a chance to see us a little closer to home, and it was a great environment. Our guys got tested in a different way than maybe we would have got tested in a home game, and that's part of it too. And so they were able to respond and learn what are the plays you have to make, what are the things you have to do on the road, to make sure you figure out how to win.
And Hood, they played a lot of zone. They made you shoot over top the zone. You guys hit 17 threes. That's an enormous number. Anastasios Rosakias hit 7 threes. It was great to see him get that many shots up from the corner.
Yeah, maybe a couple too many. But obviously, we play one of the best zone defensive teams in the country with Merrimack. And so another reason to play Hood, right, is to get a chance to install zone offense, to work against a really good zone team. While it's not identical to what Merrimack does, it gives you a chance to prepare as if it were them. Yeah. And so we worked a lot on how to attack the zone, spent a bunch of time installing those packages that a lot of times as coaches we kind of put off until you need them, right? Because they are kind of unique. And so it forced us as coaches to put that stuff in and work on it. And I think it'll prepare us in the long term. And then, obviously, with the way they play and how they collapse the lane with their zone, we got tons of, very good looks from three. And, we certainly made a good percentage of them, and we won't ever knock that. But, we also learned and are learning that every good shot is not created equal. And, for us to be a great team, we have to sometimes pass up a good shot for a great shot. Right. And I thought at times in that game, we settled for some good shots when we might have been able to get some great shots later on in a possession. So that's something we can learn from with that experience that'll hopefully pay dividends down the road.
And, of course, a lot of new pieces on the Mount roster. How did you feel like they gelled together over time? And you played a lot of different lineups together.
Yeah, we're battling the injury bug a little bit, so we had to work with the guys we have and get them out there and get them experience. It's a huge part of it. Like I said, getting some of those nerves and jitters out of the way that come with a new season, that come with a new role, that come with a new program, whether you're a freshman, whether you're a transfer, whether you're a guy going from a lesser role to maybe a bigger role this year, what's that going to feel like? And so I was really pleased with the way our guys played. I thought we played hard. I thought we played together. We shared the ball really well. I thought our defense was connected in the half court. Now, we didn't rebound the ball like we should, but that's one of the great things about exhibition games is you get exposed in a different way, right? We can't expose ourselves to that sort of relentless offensive rebounding attack every day in practice. And so, now we see that, and it's glaring that it's something that we need to improve on. And so we'll continue to work on it. It gives us coaches some new film to show the guys to encourage them that us talking about it in practice is not because, we're, holding them to some insane standard. It's because this is going to cost us, in the season if we don't get better at it. So, it was great to get those guys minutes. It's great to get that different kind of attack and different kind of exposure for our guys. And, it's all data that we can now use to help build our team to be the best we can be.
And, of course, Mount St. Mary's basketball here in Frederick County, but it's so rare that the Mount plays in Frederick. And I know that was special. It's hard to be the Mount St. Mary's coach and do something that Jim Phelan never did, but he actually never coached a Mount team in a game in Frederick. It was the first time since, I think, 1950. And you mentioned it with the outpouring of Mount fans that were there too, but it was a great way to present the program down, of course, in the city of Frederick.
Yeah, my goal is that we'll be Frederick's D1 team.
Yes.
We're not. I think that we want to expose the city of Frederick to what we do here, for the quality of play we have, for the caliber of players that we have, and let people get the chance to see it. Make it easy for them, right? Go down there, make it easy for them to see. And now we'd love to get as many of those people who maybe got excited about Mount basketball, get them up here to Knott Arena for a game and let them see us in our home environment against some of the great opponents we have coming in here throughout the non-conference and obviously in MAC play.
Mount St. Mary's plays a harder non-conference schedule than really any team in the MAC. Last year, you played 2 games in the NCAA tournament, including playing Duke, playing teams like West Virginia, who you'll play in the opener on Tuesday night. You're going to play Maryland, Ohio State, Cincinnati this year. It's a great showcase for your players, number one, but it's also a great way to face the kind of teams that you would face if you do make it back to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it's a huge reason why we do it. We want our guys to feel comfortable in those settings. We want our guys to be comfortable with the size and the physicality and the speed that high major guys play with. And the only way to do that is to play in those environments. And they're tough and they're difficult. And, we tell our guys for every game, there's a formula for us to win.
Yeah.
Right? If we follow X, Y, and Z, we're going to give ourselves a chance to win. However, the opponent has a role in that too. And the better the opponent and the more difficult the environment, the less margin for error we say there is in that formula, right? And so this puts us in those situations where, hey, there's not a lot of margin for error, right? We've got to go in there and we've got to be able to execute and do the things that we work on every single day at the highest level. And are we ready for that? We get to test ourselves multiple times here in the non-conference to see, where we stack up. And, I believe that we got guys that have a chip on their shoulder that want to be able to prove who they are in that environment. And so it's exciting. It's a fun opportunity, and it's a hard game that we're going to give everything we got to go win. But it's, most importantly, it's a great opportunity for our guys to showcase who they are, to prepare us for not only MAC play, but hopefully beyond.
There are 3 schools at the Division I level with the name the Mountaineers. 2 of them will play, of course, on Tuesday night, the Mount and West Virginia. West Virginia's got a new coach. It's kind of a new era of West Virginia basketball, so it might look a little bit different than what it has in years past for their version of the Mountaineers. But obviously, a little bit of a different environment than Hood. The Coliseum is an enormous arena, and it's going to be a great challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. Hire a new coach this year, and Coach Hodge, and from what he brings a disciplined, defensive-minded, tough, physical brand of basketball with him to WVU, which if you're a fan of WVU basketball, that's not that uncommon.
That's true.
There, right?
Bob Huggins knows a little from yesteryear.
No question. They're not. I don't know if they're going to be pressed Virginia, where they're going to get up in us 94 feet, but they're gonna guard us. They're gonna make it difficult for us to score, and we're gonna have to be tough and physical and ready to withstand that sort of style of play. And again, it's a great test for a team that is figuring out what it's going to take to win. Early in the year, do we have the sort of toughness and intestinal fortitude to go on the road against a physical team and execute? And again, not be perfect, but be the type of team that is resilient, is tough. And if we are, we'll put ourselves in position to make plays and give ourselves a chance. And that's all we can ask for. That we can be that sort of resilient team. It's something that I want to be a hallmark of our program, and we work on it. We talk about it. We spend a lot of time talking about how we respond to adversity. And our guys, our goal is that they make that their own, right, and that they become a group that responds the right way when things don't go their way. And we feel like that defines who we are, not only as people but as a team. And, right off the bat, I'm sure there'll be plenty of adversity, whether it's the 22,000 fans or whether it's the officials or whether it's the size in the front court, right? We're going to face some adversity down there, and it'll be great to see where we're at. And then, like anything else, we assess where we're at, and we try to get better. Whether we're good, we'll try to get to great. If we're not so good, then we got to get to good. But we'll see. We won't know until we're tested that way.
And Mount fans, of course, after the game against West Virginia, the Mount will come home Friday night, the home opener against Bucknell. And I know that you're so excited to get the team back in front of the fans here at Knott Arena. We're going to drop the banner. There's going to be a light show, the new video board, all the new updates to Knott Arena. I mean, if you have not been here in a few years, it's striking when you come in and see the look, and it's going to be fun to showcase not just all of those, but this great new team to our Mount fans.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be great to be back here and play in front of our fans against a really good team. And hopefully a great game, to showcase that. We've got a group of guys here that are hungry, that are ready to get the season underway. Coaches love practice, players love games, and they have been waiting, for this week where they get a chance to put that uniform on, and especially to get here and play in front of the home fans, the people who, live and die with Mount basketball and really, give their support to what we do. And so it'll be a fun time. It'll be great to, get all the bells and whistles introduced to people, but most importantly, get that game going on the floor, right? And let our guys, let all the hard work that they've put in over the offseason, the growth and the development that they've had as players, they get to showcase that in front of, these fans that give so much to this program. So it'll be a ton of fun that night.
All right, Coach, best of luck here in this first week of the season.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it.
That's Donny Lind. We're going to take a quick break, and we're back with more of this Donny Lind Show right after this. Thanks again for joining us here today for the Donny Lind Show, presented by Educational Systems Federal Credit Union. The season is upon us. Check out the upcoming schedule for Mount basketball at mountathletics.com, and we hope to see you at our home opener again Friday, November 7th, as the Mount takes on Bucknell here from Knott Arena. We'll see you again next time for the Donny Lind Show, presented by Educational Systems Federal Credit Union. Have a great day, everyone.